y'all, it's Heel Heat time.
Hi everybody and welcome to Heel Heat. My name is George Coles and this is a Heel Heat review of the G1 Special in San Francisco, brought to us by New Japan Pro Wrestling. Let's jump right in. We're going to rate our matches on this from a 1 to 5 scale, 1 being the worst, 5 being the best. And also, if you hadn't seen, a couple days ago I did a prediction, so I'm gonna see how many of them I got right and how many I got wrong based on what I predicted. First match of the night, we have a Chaos team of Yoshi-Hashi, Gedo, Rocky Romero, and Sho and Yo Roppongi 3K versus the Bullet Club team of Tanga, Tama Tonga, Chase Owens, Yujiro Takahashi, and King Haku. First off, I'm going to precursor this by saying how great it was to see King Haku out there again. He's one of my... he's a guy I really liked and someone I think is criminally underrated. For what he did for the business, he should already be in the WWE Hall of Fame. But without getting too far off of that on that tangent, I love seeing him out there. I love his interactions in here. I liked at the end of the match, it came down to Haku helping Tama Tonga hit the stun gun, helping his son out, so I really enjoyed that. The Bullet Club team picked up the win. I predicted the Bullet Club to win, so I'm 1 for 1 so far. I really like this match. I like this as an opener. The only thing that kind of fell flat a little bit for me is it felt a little bit rushed at times, and I wish they would have gave it a little bit more time. I wish they would have let all the wrestlers interact a little bit more. I think there would have been an interesting dynamic if you could have came out of this having the Guerrillas of Destiny feuding with Roppongi 3K. We'll see later why they didn't do that, but at the time of the show, this was my thoughts, that that's what I would have set up coming out of this. Or maybe set up a feud between Yoshi-Hashi and Tama Tonga or Chase Owens. But again, I'll cover that later why that didn't happen. I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. A solid opener, a great way to introduce us to the show, a great way for new fans to see some of the stars of New Japan Pro Wrestling mingled in with some names they know, obviously like King Haku. Next up, we have another team representing Chaos, Tomohiro Ishii and Toru Yano versus the team representing Suzuki-gun, Minoru Suzuki and Zack Sabre Jr. To me, I liked this match. I thought it was good. I didn't think it was good as their Dominion match, and it could be that I'm getting a little bit burnt out on this pairing, on this tag team match. They've run it a few times now. I honestly would have rather seen Ishii versus Suzuki one-on-one. I think that's where the money is out of this. I don't know if maybe they're going to keep that for a bigger show to do that, but I would have loved to see that here. I feel like this was a big show, and it does feel like New Japan treated it as a bigger show than they have their other American their other American shows. So I know why this was done. Again, you want to get as many people in front of as many new eyes as you can. The team of Ishii and Yano pick up the win. I predicted Suzuki-gun, so now I'm 1 for 2. Got one right, one wrong. I'm going to give this match, again, another 3 out of 5. I thought it was good. I liked their match at Dominion better. I would have preferred seeing Suzuki versus Ishii. Next up, we have Hiroshi Tanahashi and Kushida versus Hangman Adam Page and the villain Marty Scurll. Taguchi gets Japan versus Bullet Club. I dug this match again. The 4 men involved, I think it could have been a little bit better. Again, just my criticism, when you look at the people here, you got Hiroshi Tanahashi, one of the great wrestlers of the last 20 years. Kushida, one of the best junior wrestlers in the world. Marty Scurll, one of the best wrestlers in the world as well. Adam Page, a guy who's seemingly rocketing up to becoming in that elite category. And this kind of felt almost like a throwaway match. Not all the way, but a little bit. And to me, and I understand placing on the card and they have to play to their place, and I think we could have got more out of this. I hope I'm not coming off super negative, because I'm really not. I like the match. Just sometimes what I like and the expectations don't match up. That being said, I think it was I'm going to give it a 3 out of 5. We're going to start off with 3 threes in a row. I picked Tanahashi and Kushida to win. I was wrong. The team of Marty Scurll and Adam Page won. So now I'm 1 and 2 on my predictions. 3 for 3 as far as my ratings. Or all 3 so far in my ratings. That being said, I don't want this to sound negative. I don't want a 3 to sound bad. A 3 is a good. Basically, it goes 1 is really bad, 2 is okay, 3 is good, 4 is great, 5 being epic, basically, is how I see it. So it's another good match, another solid match. If any of these, and just to preference it so you guys don't think I'm crapping on the product, if any of these 3 matches would have been on a WWE pay-per-view, they may have been the best match of the night. Grading it on a bell curve with what New Japan does is why I'm saying what I'm saying. Next up, we have Hirooki Goto versus Jeff Cobb for the Never Openweight Championship. I loved this match. I thought it was really good. I thought that Barnett and Jim Ross were spot on, saying that Jeff Cobb reminded them of Gary Albright and Dr. Death Steve Williams. Not as much Dr. Death, but I know why they said that, because he's the more popular of the two. But the Gary Albright comparison, that's spot on. Jeff Cobb definitely reminds me of him. Hirooki Goto is a guy I've mentioned before that I really like. And it's one of these things, it's a poison pen for me. I love how New Japan keeps their main title special, the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship, and that a guy that I think is just as good as Hirooki Goto is, I think he's a top tier talent. I like that he can't get to that top level. It's almost like if you think about back in the day where a Mr. Perfect or a Ricky the Dragon Steamboat couldn't get to the WWE title. They were really, really good, and you didn't think of them as less, but they weren't necessarily on the World Championship level. That being said, I loved this match. I thought it was really good. I'd love to see these two guys again. I'd love to see these two guys several more times, to be honest with you. I think they work extremely well together. I got the prediction wrong. I thought Jeff Cobb was going to win. I thought we were going to have multiple title changes on the show. But we didn't, and I'm okay with that. Hirooki Goto picked up the win. I thoroughly enjoyed this. I'm going to give this one a 4 out of 5. Great match in my opinion. It's the start of the run where the matches really started getting really good, in my opinion. It's right about the time. As we see, they're building, they're getting better and better. Next up, we had a match for the IWGP Tag Team Championship, Heavyweight Tag Team Championship. Gotta make sure we mention that. We have the Young Bucks of Nick and Mac Jackson versus, representing Los Ingobernables de Japón, Sonata and Evil. I like this. Much like I said with the match before, I could see these teams wrestling each other 1,000 times over. They have a chemistry, a really good chemistry with each other. They seem to do something new every time they're in the ring together. I really, really enjoyed this match. The Bucks picked up the win here. I correctly predicted the Bucks would win here. I loved this match. I loved everything about it. I thought it was really good. I really enjoyed it. Again, it's another one I'd like to see them run back over and over again. I'm going to give this one a 5 out of 5. It was a really great match in my opinion, which was a great point for them to go into their intermission. So we took a little bit of a break. On the show, they recapped some of the feuds before going into the main event half of the night. So basically, this was the main event of the first half of the card, which I'm okay with. When I looked at the card, there's another tag team match that happens after this that I didn't understand why the World Heavyweight Tag Team Championship would be less than that. But now that I see that that was where the break point was, I see that they were kind of making that the main event of the first half, if that makes sense. Next up, we have representing Chaos, Kazuchika Okada, and the aerial assassin Will Ospreay, versus representing Los Ingobernables de Japón, Tetsuya Naito, and Bushi. Again, I really enjoyed this match. I probably liked this match more than I thought I was going to going into this. I thought this would kind of be a throwaway match. We've seen at times where Naito, his trade kilo, has kind of thrown off matches. I really liked it though. I thought this was a really good match. A little bit stepped down from the tag match before, but not in a bad way. I really enjoyed this. I thought this was 4 high-caliber wrestlers. As I mentioned on my prediction show, I really enjoy Bushi. I don't think that the management likes him as much as I do, but that's okay. I correctly picked this match with Okada and Ospreay picking up the win. I just didn't see how them having another loss here. So to me, that's what I predicted. I thought it was going to be right. So now we're saying Los Ingobernables de Japón have kind of a losing streak going. They've lost 2 matches in a row. It's not been their night so far. However, I've evened out. I've got 3 matches correct picked and 3 matches I picked wrong. And for the match, I give it a 4 out of 5. So we're right there. I'm dead even. 3 right, 3 wrong. Some really good matches. 3 really good matches in a row, leading us into our 7th match of the night. In all 3 of these next 3 matches, I was blown away by. We have for the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Championship, Hiromu Takahashi versus Dragon Lee. It's another one I couldn't see enough of these guys wrestling each other, whether it be Ring of Honor, CMLL, or New Japan, or Rev Pro. Anywhere in the world, I think these two are going to light it up against each other. I thought this was a fantastic match. Knowing what I know now, and it kind of takes a little bit away from it, and what I'm speaking of, if you don't know, is Hiromu Takahashi hurt his neck in the match in the Phoenix suplex, which potentially they think may be a broken neck, so fingers crossed he's okay and it's nothing serious. Hopefully, because I think he's a star in the making. I think he's a really great talent with a really good character. Part of what makes him the time bomb, though, is taking risks that other people don't. And here, even though this wasn't necessarily his fault, we've seen where that style of wrestling takes you. If you're gonna, it's called high risk for a reason. There's a high risk for a high reward. You're either gonna crash and burn, or you're gonna do something spectacular. And Takahashi, I feel like he was constantly trying to set the bar higher and higher, and Unfortunately, it caught up to him at this point. Takahashi soldiered through, picked up the win. I correctly thought that he was going to win this. I gave the match a 5 out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I'm trying to keep my enjoyment of the match to watching it live as opposed to knowing that Takahashi got injured, because I don't enjoy that. I don't want to see anybody get injured, whether it's a wrestler I really like Takahashi, or a wrestler I absolutely hate. Even the worst wrestler on every roster, I don't want to see them get injured. I don't wish people to get hurt. I mean, this is... they're living. Hopefully, like I said, it's not as bad as they think it may be, so fingers crossed again. Thoughts and prayers, whatever, for Takahashi out there. Who's going to take care of Daryl Jr. if he's out? Just, I hope everything's okay with him. Now our number 8, our 8th match of the night. Blah. And did I say 5 out of 5? Yeah, I did. We have, for the IWGP United States Heavyweight Championship, Switchblade Jay White versus Juice Robinson. I really enjoyed this match. This match, if the main event didn't happen, this would have been my favorite match of the night by far. It was great from the beginning to the end. This is easily my favorite Jay White match that I've seen, and one of my favorite Juice Robinson matches. I thought this was a great match. I thought they did some things, took it far. The announcement in the beginning where if Juice Robinson used his cast, he'd get disqualified. And then we do see it come into play. We see the low blow come into play from Jay White. There was a moment in the match where Jay White suplexes Juice Robinson into the guardrail, which knocks over Jim Ross, which makes Josh Barnett pretty angry. I don't know if this is shoot, work, or somewhere in between. It feels like a shoot, but I could be wrong. It could have been something they planned out. He dropped a lot of F-bombs, so... and seemingly JR and Barnett were flustered and angry for a decent amount more of the match, openly criticizing people, so I don't know if it's a shoot. I mean, if it's a work, it's a really well done work. If it's a shoot, why would you ever want to piss off Josh Barnett? I mean, he's one of the most successful MMA fighters there's been. He's an absolute beast. He's a monster. I mean, I wouldn't piss him off. That's all I'm saying. I'd like to stay on a friendly basis with the guy, but that's me. Juice Robinson picks up the win with a roll-up. I thought this was fantastic. I love Juice Robinson's story. I love the fact that in NXT he was an afterthought, he was someone they gave up on, someone they just discarded. They said, you know, you're never going to be nothing. Goes out, he reinvents himself, shows us what some of us, and I liked him in NXT. I thought he was a good character. I thought he needed a little bit of work, but he was getting there. He was getting better every time he came out. He goes out, he reinvents himself, and 3 years later, he's one of the top stars in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Kudos to Juice for keeping that going, for dedicating yourself and taking all the negatives and making them into a positive and absolutely proving everybody that doubted you wrong. I fucking love that, man. That was a great job. I give this match a 5 out of 5. I correctly predicted this match, so we have 5 that I predicted correct and 3 that I predicted wrong. Going on a serious roll here now. I love this match. Now, between that match and the main event, we're going to talk about something in a couple seconds here. The main event of the night for the IWGP Heavyweight Championship, Kenny Omega versus Cody. Cody is now black with his darker hair. It's for a movie role or a TV role, they say. This match, it reminded me of matches like Ric Flair versus Terry Funk in the I Quit match. It reminded me of Mick Foley versus Randy Orton in a hardcore match. It reminded me of the I Quit match between Tully Blanchard and Dusty Rhodes. There was a lot of elements to it. They ramped up the level of violence, and it felt like two guys that disliked each other very much. It felt like two guys that were fighting and willing to do absolutely anything to win the match. And after knowing what I know about Takahashi, there was a lot of really dangerous spots in the match. A double stomp through a table, the gigantic ladder that they just seem to spend forever on, with that massive superplex off the top of it. And this is what I was wanting to mention between the last match and this match. Has New Japan gone to a place where they're relaxing the rules of World Championship matches? Or championship matches of any kind? Because a lot of this was done right in front of the referee. And I know it's a little thing. It didn't take away from the quality, it was just an observation I meant. I know Ring of Honor, they'll say that being this is a championship match, the ref reserves the rights to relax the rules a bit. So maybe New Japan's taking that stance as well. I love the dichotomy of the Young Bucks being out there trying to sway both men to not do some of the crazy things they were doing, trying to keep their friends from hurting each other or hurting themselves. I thought it was a fantastic match. Kenny Omega picked up the win like I thought he would. Overall, the best match of the night, and that's saying a lot because we have some absolute killer matches on the show. This was by far the best New Japan in America event that we've had to date. This is the first defense of the IWGP Championship by Kenny Omega, and if they're all like this, he's going to have a friggin' historical run. I love this match. I'm going to pull a Meltzer here, and I'm going to give it a 6 out of 5. I thought they were that much better than everything else that they deserved to break the scale. I really enjoyed this. I loved the two's interaction. I loved everything about this match. It was fantastic. I correctly predicted it. So overall on the night, I was 6 out of 9, which is pretty respectable if you ask me. Getting 66% right. What a fantastic card. We see after the match, after what would be a normally long celebration, the Bucks and Omega walk up the ramp. They're met at the top of the ramp by Tonga Loa, Tama, and King Haku. It looks like all's good in the Bullet Club. Everybody too sweets each other. They turn around to wave bye to the fans, and boom, Kenny Omega gets blasted in the back by Tama Tonga, Tonga Loa, and King Haku take the three of them down the ring. Just beat the crap out of them. They announce that they're now the Firing Squad, which, if you look at the shirts and the logo, it still has BC in it, so I don't know if it's, they're still Bullet Club, but the Bullet Club Firing Squad, kind of like the Elite are still part of the Bullet Club in a subgroup. I don't know how that dichotomy is going to work, and I'm excited to see how that plays out. But I enjoyed what they did, and I like the fact that they're going to take Tama Tonga, whether it's part of the Bullet Club, and they're going to it feels like they're finally going to elevate him into that main event status, maybe as the next challenger for Kenny Omega. I liked what they did here. I liked that when Paige and Marty Scurll came out, they beat them up too. I liked that when Chase Owens and Yujiro Takahashi came out, seemingly to try and make peace, to say, hey, we're all brothers here, we're all Bullet Club. They even turned on them. Two guys that we've seen being affiliated with honorary Tongan with Chase Owens with the Tongan group in the Bullet Club OGs. Yujiro, I mean, these guys are constantly tagging with each other. So for them to even attack Chase and Yujiro, it kind of feels like they've separated out of the Bullet Club altogether. Now, like I said, with the BC on their shirt still, and them saying on the show that we're the real Bullet Club, maybe we'll get a Wolfpack / Hollywood NWO kind of thing going. But done better, hopefully. But I think they're just going to be the firing squad. I think that they're going to eventually shed the BC off of it and just be firing squad going forward. It'll be interesting to see where Bad Luck Fale and Bone Soldier Ishimori fall with this. Neither one was there at the show last night, so we didn't see him come out on either side. I have a feeling that both of them will end up being on the side of the firing squad. I really think that, for one, it's going to even out the odds. You're going to have 5 guys on the firing squad, and you're going to have Chase, Page, the Bucks, Cody, Omega, and Yujiro on the Bullet Club. So we're out of a 7-5. Maybe some other people get pulled into this. Or 8 if you include Kota Ibushi, which I don't know. He's part of the Golden Elite, but I don't know if he's officially a Bullet Club member. But now, with everybody in the Bullet Club that's left still being on the same page, I don't see why he wouldn't be. So we have 8 on one side, 5 on the other. I don't see where they would do a 10-3 ratio, so I believe that both Fale and Bone Soldier are going to join with King Haku, Tonga, and Tangaloa, and who knows how long King Haku is going to be there as well. I assume that this was going to be a one-off. With his age, he's not really going to do many matches, and again, he's one of my favorites, so I don't want this to come off as I don't like the guy. It's just a matter of fact of life. He's an older gentleman. How much is he going to want to fly to Japan and wrestle for 10 days out of 20? Or, maybe he's part of the group as a guy that just comes in every now and again. But I digress. It leaves, like Jim Ross said, a lot more questions going out of the show than we had coming into it. We had the question of the Bullet Club leadership. We now see that Kenny and Cody are both on the same page, seemingly. We now see where the battle lines are clearly drawn, the firing squad crew versus the Bullet Club crew, or the elite crew, however you want to say it. So it'll be interesting to see what we have going forward. And maybe Chase and Yujiro break off and go with Fale and Bone Soldier, and that makes a third group. Who knows? Anything is possible at this point. Anything is literally open. I mean, just a few months ago, it felt like Kenny Omega was getting kicked out of the Bullet Club. So, it's possible they go any route with this. Like I said, I loved it. I loved the match. I love this afterwards. I feel like it's going to be a thing that finally breaks Tonga into the main event scene, which I really liked. I really enjoy to do. I think Tonga is great. I think he's a fantastic wrestler. I think he's one of the best talkers in the business. He has a charisma that's innate to him that he just feels like he's cool. I mean, there's no other way to say it. There's only a few people like Stone Cold Steve Austin or The Rock that you felt that, Ric Flair, that they give off the vibe that they're cooler than everybody else. That being said, as far as the show itself, I'm going to give it a 5 of 5. Very entertaining. The best show that New Japan's done in America up to this date. I thoroughly loved it. If you didn't catch it on Access, catch it on New Japan World. I believe Access will probably replay it at some point. With all that being said, my name is George Coles, and it's been a Heel Heat review of the G1 Special in San Francisco.